Okay, Blighty Boxing in association with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions. As I mentioned before, we're here at the rather eerie, empty and spooky Peacock Gym, and we've got the Battersea Banger, Denzel Bentley, with us. How's it all been going, Denz?
Been good, it's been alright. Started off hard, but everything's getting better as it goes on, so we're all good.
How was life in Battersea during lockdown? How did you cope with it?
Very quiet, very, very quiet. I think when the news broke out, everyone was a bit cautious, like very cautious of it. And then, so people weren't coming out, people weren't going anywhere, so I was indoors, didn't want to come out. Took me a while to get my mind around training because running every day was getting boring. But I was finding it hard, if I'm being honest. Switched back on the PlayStation, and I ain't switched on for years, so I was doing that for a while. Then as it went on, it just started getting a bit easier, and then kind of just think to yourself, get up, go do something. And everyone's thinking that, so then the more you're getting out to do things, you see other people doing it, and you're thinking, if you've all been at home, I'm guessing you're all right, so then you might train together, go for a run, and I've met a few friends doing pads and stuff, and go back home, but still keeping the correct procedures. Wash your hands, mask up, all of this, stay a bit away and all that stuff.
We were just told we had that half an hour or an hour a day we were allowed out. It was like having a little prison, day release, wasn't it?
The little hour out, but
and it was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. When they first said that, I'd use it to go for a walk with my mum, so we do like a long hour walk and just talk, go around Battersea, around the new embassy and stuff, 9 Elms around there, because that's the side I live on. Do a long walk and then come back home, and then that was my bit of peaceful walk kind of thing, like take my mind away, and then I started feeling better. Then eventually I started going for runs in the evening and then getting back to it. But like you said, that 1 hour kind of free time got everyone thinking, let's use it. I saw people that's never ran before.
How many of you are in the flat?
I think there's 5 of us. So there's 4 of us and my mum, 5 of us.
Yeah, so I mean that brings its own challenges, doesn't it? Because normally you're probably rarely all in at the same time, aren't you? Yeah. You're all off and out everywhere. So just much as you love each other, you're going to be treading on each other's toes.
Yeah, exactly. Like usually, I'll be up early, use the bathroom first, go training, come back. Now I'm waking up a bit later and knocking on the bathroom door. Someone's in, and I've got to wait and thinking, I'm not used to this. This is annoying. And someone's watching telly downstairs, and you just kind of stay in your room more time. But certain time, one will call us all and say, we've got to spend time downstairs for a bit, because you can't just stay in your room all day for how long. So then every now and then, I think like every evening we'd all come downstairs, have a chat, and then back to our rooms. But it was all right, it wasn't too bad,
Locked up in your room probably would be a bit mentally destructive, wouldn't it?
It is.
Once you get used to it, don't you? And then moving outside becomes the not normal, doesn't it?
Yeah, like it became the new normal, just being inside. So I just be in my bed all day, jump up, shower, come back in my bed. It's like, what are you doing? And then when you're going out, it's like, it's a bit empty out here, a bit cautious, a bit, hear someone coughing, you're like, well, who's that? Do you know what I mean? Like, but then it eases up and you're getting used to it, so it's good.
Did you find yourself watching that 5 o'clock daily briefing to try and get some clues as to when boxing might be back or when you might be allowed to go to training?
Yeah, 100%. All the time I was always looking up at interviews online. I'm trying to hear, is there any boxing on? I'm trying to call Martin, you opening the gym. Obviously he's not allowed to, so all of them things we couldn't do. But always trying to look into things and see when boxing will be back. The board was sending emails, keeping us updated, which was good as well. So we had a kind of guideline on when it will be back, but we never knew 100% until they actually said, okay, we're allowed to box from July. So from when they said that, mentally I switched on, like, I'm hitting the runs harder now, or I'm doing this harder now. When the gym's open, I'll be back and I'll be ready. But before that, you kind of don't know where you're going. So you're just like, I'll run today and I'll probably rest tomorrow, because we don't know when we're back anyway. I don't want to be burnt out by the time we get back and stuff like that.
Did you hammer Netflix?
Oh, I hammered Netflix. I was watching series in a day. Like, I see a new series, but most of them were like 1 seasons because they're new. In a day, that's done. I'm looking for the next one. I'm messaging my friends and Martin, like, what are you guys watching on Netflix? All right, cool, I'm going to watch that now. Jump on that. Done in a day, hammering Netflix.
I've watched more films than I ever have in my life. I think. I'm not a massive film watcher, and Amazon Prime has been absolutely pummeled,
Yeah, I don't have Amazon Prime, I just have Netflix. But I'm more of a series guy. I like to watch series, so I watch loads of series.
I mean, that's a good 8-10 hour commitment, that, isn't it?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I'm in my bed all day watching series. Time you know it, it's night time, and it's like, all right, go to bed now.
Must have been a hell of a relief when you got the call from Martin to say, right, back in Monday, 5 or 6 of you, and just getting out. And I found it today, just getting in the car and driving on the open road. It was liberating.
Yeah, it's mad. The roads are getting more packed as it goes on, but like, in the beginning, it's just like you get anywhere in a couple of minutes, it's just so empty. But it's nice to be back in the gym. At first, I was like, oh, we're gonna hit it hard. After the first week, it was good. Now it's just like, I'm happy to be in the gym, man. I was happy from the beginning, but I'm happy I'm not as unfit as I thought I'd be.
On the boxing front, what do we know? What do we know about forthcoming plans for your good self?
There's nothing confirmed yet, do you know what I mean? But hopefully I'm on the same show as all these lot that are boxing. I think late July, early August-ish. I think they're waiting till the football's done. You gotta wait from the go-ahead from BT or whatever, but nothing really set in stone about what I've got, but so I'm hoping to be in a good fight.
One of these no crowd shows, you'll get on one
Yeah,
of those.
behind closed doors, yeah, 100% I'd be in one of those shows.
I suppose the only title you wouldn't fancy going for would be the Southern area, I guess, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, Sean's got that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, after you not heard that guy, I don't want no piece of that. No, but that's my gym mate anyway, so I'm happy for him, happy you got that. The person that's got the English was the same person I was trying to fight for the Southern area, so I think I'll give that a miss as well because it was hard making that fight.
Who's got that now?
Linus.
Yeah,
okay, so I think until it's like suitable for them,
well, you get mandated.
They won't take. Yeah, well, they get mandated. Well, we got mandated for the Southern area, so that's another one. But until it's suitable for them, maybe like reward-wise, they'll probably take it, which is cool.
Just finally, I just want to touch on something with you because I've obviously fully on social media and I noticed that socially you're quite aware. You've got a keen sense of right and wrong, but also a sort of a balance and a fairness to the way you look at things. How have events of the last few days sort of touched on you? You know, it's horrible times in a way. I mean, you know, it's not nice when you see people are that unhappy, but they have to go out and protest and things like that, and you don't realise sometimes, but until you get a trigger point, it's how many people are unhappy, and it makes it quite sad, doesn't it?
It's like people are unhappy, but they just keep it in, they tame it in, and it's just like there is an opportunity to let out that kind of anger. It just seems like you're complaining for no reason. So I think after what happened a couple of weeks ago people were able to unleash their anger and how they really feel about situations, and because they've kept it in for so long, people that don't understand how they feel are looking at them like, where did this come from? Like, you're just jumping on a bandwagon. But in actual reality, they're not. That's just actually how they generally feel. They just haven't had the opportunity to express how they feel because the opportunity hasn't come across yet. Because you just look at them like you're crazy. But now this has come out, like you said, you realise how much people are out there protesting. All last weekend, people were out there. When you're in a big crowd and everyone feels the same, emotions run high, and it can get messy and turn into riots, if you like. And
it always does, doesn't it?
That's what I'm saying, because people are running on high emotions, and when there's no one there to kind of lead the pack and be like, yo, this is what's next, and this is what we should do, this is what we should be looking to, don't unleash your anger in that way. People run with their own thoughts and feel like what they need to do should be done, if that makes sense. So that probably explains why people are getting off and trying to attack the police or spray paint on walls or, do you know what I'm saying, or agitate the horses to do a madness. But
has this sort of resonated with you personally, what's happened? I mean, have you felt the need to express personal anger or personal frustrations over this period? You know, but I mean, is it something that you've gone out, right, I'm speaking from my own experience?
No, 100%. I feel how I feel all the time, but I'm not a type of person that runs to social media every time I feel a type of way. But if there's things out there that can help bring exposure to these situations, I will repost it and retweet it. But my personal experience, unless we're having a chat, I wouldn't really go out there and just start putting out there. I just feel like there's no need, it's my personal issue. But yeah, people probably do want to hear some more issues that happen around, and I've had personal issues with, of course, the police, and I feel like I've been attacked for no reason and maybe racially profiled by police and stuff. But in a sort of way, it's weird because like how I've grown up, it kind of becomes normal, and it's not. It's not normal when you speak to other people and you realise, wait, hold on, am I the only person here? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like by no way am I going to come and say like all white people are racist as people have seen online. But there is racism in the world, not let alone the country.
Racism,
unknowingly as well, exactly. Some people are just ignorant to the situation, which can be turned into you're being racist right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you speak to like my whole team's white, if I felt that way, I'd You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, nah, you guys are racist. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? But good people are good people and bad people are bad people. But it just
there is a kind of thing in boxing as well, though, isn't it? It kind of boxing can probably, I don't want to sound too cruelly to people who aren't into boxing, but it's kind of always been a beacon of light for people just rubbing along and getting on, and respectful, humbleness, treating everyone the same.
Yeah.
It's always had that, hasn't it?
It's always had that. It's always
in the
had
dark days of the 80s when things were much nastier out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, boxing was always, had that sort of safe haven, if you like.
Yeah. Someone asked me the other day. I was doing an interview with Seconds Out, and they asked me, have I experienced any racism in boxing? And I was like, I actually honestly haven't. I honestly haven't. I've always felt like everyone's been treated, I've been treated the same as everyone else in the gym and in other places. I've never felt like I've been profiled a certain way or looked at a certain way because I'm black or whatever. And that's in boxing, but outside there definitely is. And in other sports, there definitely is. As you've seen in football as well. The chants that some of the fans make and stuff like that. Some of the players not feeling comfortable of how they've been spoken about by the media and stuff like that. Like just the way you put things into perspective. Two players could do the same thing. One's black, one's not, and then the headline on the black person is a lot worse than the headline on the person that's not black.
Sterling shone a light on that, didn't he?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
He shone that light, didn't he?
Exactly. I think those two young players that play for Manchester City. Both of them had never played first team. One was black, one was white. One of them, the headline was...
Both bought a house for their mum, didn't they?
Yeah, and one was like, he's splashing money and shit off. The other one was like, oh, he's done a good thing, he's bought a house for his mum, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, but you kind of wonder, do the media do this on purpose? Because they know it's gonna get the headline booming or whatever. Like,
clickbait.
You know what I'm saying? Clickbait, yeah, exactly. It's going to get everyone on it. Everyone's going to retweet it saying, look at this. And then that article gets looked at.
It's that old article about any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, exactly. You can go back to the royal family. Meghan Markle had avocado. They said it's fueling civil wars or something like that. And the other one, sorry, I don't know her name.
Oh, Kate, is it?
Kate, yeah, Katie, something like that, sorry. She had an avocado, said, oh, that's how she keeps healthy. Do you know what I'm saying? So you kind of wonder, did the media do this on purpose?
Just finally, before I let you go, we've had many protests over the years. Most of them end this way, most of them are majority peaceful, a few little problems. But generally, 4-6 weeks later, everything's forgotten about and everyone goes back to normal.
Yeah.
How important is it that this time it does affect some sort of change? Because I wouldn't mind betting, but in 4 to 6 weeks' time, this will probably be largely at the back of people's mind because that's the way it goes, isn't it?
I agree with you, and I've had conversations about this with like close friends and stuff. Like, we don't want this to be a situation where in a couple of weeks it's forgotten about, because then that's really a kind of bandwagon event. It's not just like a movement for a little while. It's something that needs to be pushed and needs to be changed in the higher
building. It's got to be
building.
like a step-by-step agenda.
It's got to be step-by-step agenda, yeah.
Make sure it doesn't get lost in time.
Exactly,
you know.
But what people need to realise, people, us lot, we can be more aware of these things, but change needs to happen from the people in charge. They need to set laws that this is unacceptable and that's unacceptable. Like, I've read articles where in the NHS a black nurse gets paid less than the white nurse. Like, why is that? Are they not doing the same job? Or like automatically you could have the same degree, go into a field and the white person's automatically on a higher pay grade than the black person, and it's like, why is that? Do you know what I'm saying? It's
it shouldn't
crazy.
take some poor sod to get kneed to death to bring all this to light, really, should it?
And that's the thing,
sad,
but that's just what triggered everyone's emotions and said, see, look, this is what I've been saying all this time. And that's what it is. All it is people are going out there saying, this is what we've been saying all this time. This is what's happening, and a lot of you are not seeing it because you don't want to see it. But now that you've seen it, because social media brings all that awareness, people are just retweeting old things and you're looking at, damn, this is crazy, it's been going on for how long? Do you know what I'm trying to say? All over.
They've got to set, like you say, set this agenda, all these steps, and the media have got to keep shining at it to make sure that it's being adhered to.
100%.
You can't be allowed just to drift off again.
You can't let it fade away now. You can't let it, because it's a big issue, and it will happen again in a couple of years' time, and this will happen again. And that means there's no change, and then they'll just see it as, oh, they're having a moment, and it's not a moment situation. It's not a Me Too situation kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big situation that's been happening for years and years and years, and something needs to happen. It needs to be changed. We need to do things ourselves to help commit to that change, or help impact that change, but also the people in charge also need to set rules and standards to set for that change. Like, for example, I was asking someone, can you go to jail for being racist? Or can you be arrested for being racist?
I think only if you actually displayed those tendencies or played them out. I don't think if it was just inside you and you don't say anything,
No, but
can't be.
I
I
see a
think
lot
you've
of
got to
video-
do something, haven't you?
Yeah, no, but I see a lot of videos of like people saying this guy's being racist. He called me a black so and so, and I'm thinking, so why is he standing there? Do you know what I mean? Like, can you call the police? Can you get arrested for that? Or you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it have
Or-
to be reported. I suppose,
They have to be
yeah.
reported because other than that, people like not being funny or nothing, but they deserve a punch in the mouth because that's not right. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because there's no repercussions for it, people will continue to do it. There's no repercussions for it.
I think the problem we've got nowadays is but the social media anonymity that we have, it means but that sort of cesspool is a magnet for the pond life that we didn't realise sometimes was out there to express this sort of filth,
no, 100%,
isn't it?
100%, no, 100%. It's literally what you just said. That's exactly what it is. And then you got a lot of these people that just.
But it is illegal, to answer your question.
Listen, I hope it is because I've just seen so many things, and I'm just thinking, how is he still? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. You see videos of things, and you think, how did he get away with that? You know what I'm trying to say? Well, I hope it's illegal anyway.
Denzel, hopefully we'll next time we catch up, we'll have a bit of fight news. We'll talk a bit of boxing.
Yeah,
Hopefully, hopefully it won't be we're talking politics every interview now. But
I know. I'm very vocal about these things, so I expect
I'd
it when
say
I'm behind the camera.
It's worth talking about because it's important we do talk about it, isn't it? Because otherwise it will just disappear again. So, Denzel, take care of yourself, mate.
Nice one. Thanks.